Hello, my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi. So today I have like a video for you which I had completely forgotten about. I had posted this on my communities page and then I completely forgot about it. And I was like recently going through all the, I make like a list of videos that I need to prepare. And I went through it and I was like, most hated perfumes voted by the internet. And then I was like, what? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I had done this whole community poll and then I completely forgot about it. So I finally made a compilation, starting first with my own and followed by 46 more, so total of 47 comments. I might do it in part 1 and part 2 since it's a lot and I don't want you guys to be like, you're spreading so much hate. No. Guys, don't show hate to each other, okay? These are all personal opinions of people. You might like some perfumes which they don't like. They might like not like perfumes that you like, and that's completely okay. And that's why we have like these bajillion perfumes for our choices. So let's start with mine. I was trying to be not so critical, and I just chose like a few of them which were like genuinely I can't stand them. Right now, mind you, this is ages ago. This is like, it's saying 1 month ago. So this poll was taken before I did all the hauls of like Latafa and Khadlaj and Paris Corner and all that. So what I've written is like, mine would be Qaid Al Fursan Unlimited, of course, because of that horrible rotten milk smell that I get from it. It was unbearable. Musaf Vardi, which I thought was super juvenile. It was kind of something like that I would never go for. And I know a lot of y'all love that perfume and you do think it's a dupe for the Angel Noah by Mugler. I personally did not find it anywhere close to Angel Mugler. Then the next one over here says Latafa Al Noble Safir, which I had quoted as a biryani bowl because it was so herbal. Like the coriander and like certain cumin, like all these kind of spices and herbs combined, it just gave a very food preparation kind of scent. And I never ever used it. Ali never ever used it. And I just like decluttered it, sold it. By the way, all these perfumes are gone already from my collection. And then I said anything remotely related to Delina or Herba Pura. So yes, these were like, Delina was something I was never much into anyhow, but Herba Pura was initially, I used to love the dupes. Like Jasmine was one of my favorite perfumes in the beginning. Ana Abiyad White, the original one, was something I was wearing a lot in the beginning. And then it just became something which was, every other perfume I was buying was Herba Pura. And I just began to hate it so much. So now I have the one from Swiss Arabian, Shagaf Oud Ahmar, which is like a dupe for Herba Pura. And I think that's the only one I have. And I have Jasmine Wisp as well, because they do have something kind of different. It's not exactly like Herba Pura. That's with mine. And then I recently added another one to this list, which a lot of y'all, when I went through this list, I was like, so many of y'all warned me about this. It is Latafa's Ajwad, the original, the metallic one. Oh my goodness, the failed attempt to Roses Vanille by Mansera. That was the one. So if I just gone through this list just a little, but you know what, knowing me, I would have still bought that perfume just to compare it to Pink, just to be like, is this really a flanker, Let's move on to your opinions now. So Maggie Fall 81 says Yara 2s by Latafa, almost all the Yaras. I'm with you 100% on this one, because I did not think it was worth the hype. I did not think you needed to spend that much money unless you were getting it at super discounted prices and you wanted to casually use those perfumes. It was nothing exceptional and definitely not viral worthy perfumes, right? Sorry y'all, but to me they're all just hype. I'm with you. Factoring in that I'm a gourmand girl and need my florals to be light, but if you're gonna claim to be a fruity fragrance, I need to smell fruit. I hate being light too. I agree with you. There was like strawberry, but these hype were created by the viral reviews mostly, especially for Yara, the original, and then the whole mango thing with the Yara 2s. Yara More was like the only one which I felt was like good, but also not worthy of being hyped for sure. So I'm with you, Maggie. Next we have Emily Ortiz 6281. Hi Simi, I'm pretty new to Middle Eastern fragrances, but the relatively short amount of time I've been Introduced to them, I've become obsessed. I've even owned Kaidal Fursan Unlimited and really enjoyed it. I'm so happy you're one of them that actually enjoyed this, because in my opinion, like for me, and there's a proper divide between two groups, right? Absolutely hate it or absolutely love it. Like Tonic Suns, unfortunately for me, doesn't work. However, if I had to pick my least favorite, it would be Maison Alhambra's Delilah. Thank goodness that I did not venture into that. Partially because I was not inclined to Delina dupes anyhow, but I've never tried it. But it's supposedly a dupe for Delina, so you'd hate it if you haven't tried it yet. I've never smelled Delina, so I don't know if it's a good dupe or not. But the perfume is so sharp and peppery. It used to give me headache, but it's grown on me since then. I don't think there's a pepper note in it, but sometimes rose can smell unpleasantly sharp to me. I think that sharpness is coming through green notes, which is rhubarb. I don't know Delilah has it or not, but if it's duping Delina, they were trying to mix that little greenness. By the way, I have the Delina sample. I got the entire Delina, the Delina exclusive, Rosé and the Delina in small samples. And none of the dupes, which I've tested and tried, are 100% dupes. None of them have got it right, okay? So Delina, while I would still never wear it, it's a pleasant perfume. It's not very, very sharp. It has sharpness, but it's not as sharp as Imperial by Armaf, which I absolutely cannot wear, or Amirat Al Arab, which was the Privé version, which was like, you know. So I am with you. Maybe Delilah is one of those category perfumes, and they were messed up. Next we have SN Jazanat 430. She said Udain and Badial Oud, honor and glory. And she said, I love Kaidal Fursan. Very happy for you. Like I keep telling people that I'm very happy for people who actually can enjoy that perfume. Along with like Zadig and Voltaire, this is her. If you enjoy that perfume, I know people loved that perfume. And when I got it, I actually thought the perfume had gone bad. And that's the only way I could have returned it, that I told them it's gone bad. And then I later on realized maybe it's just that note to me, my brain perceives it as spoilt milk, you know. Uden, I was never like attracted to, but as of like what the notes were of Uden, I would not pick it up because I know it'll be a very conventional, very atypical Middle Eastern rose oud scent, and I did not want to go through it. Now, Badi al Oud, Honor and Glory. I love that fragrance. So I have it here with me. I'm especially removing these perfumes because I want to tell you how they have macerated and do they get better. And I know a lot of y'all share your opinion with her about this perfume because many people did not like this perfume. It's definitely very polarizing. They advertise it as a very creme brulee kind of pineapple brulee, not creme brulee, sorry, pineapple brulee kind of scent. But for me, it is basically a turmeric latte along with pineapple. And it is definitely very, very different. Turmeric is like really sharp and coming out, but I don't know why. For me, this perfume is like very attractive, very different, and I most definitely will be wearing it. But there are a lot of people who share opinion with you because for some people, by the way, this is getting more mellow the more it's macerating. I'm going to still let it macerate for another 3-4 months because I want to give this 1 year. Because when they released this, it was unmacerated. Like they launched it, they came out of the factory, pack shipped, you know. So it is definitely changing. So if you have the Honor and Glory, stay with it, try it for some time, keep it for some time, let it macerate, and then try it again and see if you still don't like it, then get rid of it, gift it or sell it, you know. Next we have Charm by Megan, and she says, Opulent Red was disgusting. I had it for a few months to see if it would get better, but no, that metallic rubber note is disgusting. A lot of people I trust on YouTube, they did recommend Opulent Red to me, but I stayed clear from it because of that metallic note. When people told me this metallic note comes through and it is a bit too much and everything, I just did not gravitate towards the entire Opulent collection. I just thought it would be one of those perfumes. Yes, they're very, very cheap. They're very reasonable. It's like $10 to $15 each, which is a very good price. But I just thought, knowing me, my personality, the kind of perfumes I like my perfumes to be really different, really strong. I want them to wow me. You know, I'm not just going to wear a perfume that smells good, you know. So I absolutely, like, I can't relate to you right now, but if it smells metallic, like, it would not be for me either. Next, we have Me and Myself 8039. She said Armaf Mignon Black. Filet mignon. Okay. Mignon. Okay, that one is okay. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly the bottle also, how it looks like and everything. Nearly ordered it when I was ordering the Ego, blah, 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 what's that called? Ego Exotic by Armaf. Nearly, it was in my cart. And then something, my instinct told me, you're not gonna like this perfume, don't get it. Because like I like the notes when I saw it and I was like, I will definitely like it, but my gut feeling was like, don't buy it, you know? And I'm glad I did not because I do trust you guys, you know? She says, Arbaf Minion Black, the most synthetic jasmine I've ever smelled, and it's very hard for my nose to get past that note. Second is Maison Alhambra, the Tux. Okay, I know exactly what it would smell like, and I'm assuming they are duping Tuxedo, you know? My was blind by purchase and for quite a lot of money because it is difficult to obtain at the moment. I know that's supposed to be a clone of YSL Tuxedo. I have never smelled Tuxedo, but to my nose, this perfume is nothing more than poor imitation of my beloved Pearl de Lalique. I'm meaning to buy Pearl de Lalique just because it's supposed to be similar to Midnight Poison. And if it remotely smells like Midnight Poison, you know, I need it, you know. So I will definitely get Pearl de Lalique, and it helps me and pushes me more because you love it. Neutered from rose and with an overwhelming dose of earthy patchouli. I have no idea why I still keep them both. Maybe I'm hoping that the maturation process will change something. You're right, keep it with you. Maximum 1 year. In 1 year, if you don't see the changes, get rid of it. It's definitely not worth your money. Better sell it, maybe, or gift it to somebody who will actually enjoy the perfume. Next, we have a Sinam. She said a parrot called it Taskeen. Okay, I should add that perfume to my list. Why do people like that fragrance? Lol. But then, why do I like Kaidal Fursan Unlimited when most people don't? Exactly. So Taskeen, even for me, it was super juvenile. I did not like it. It was straight up fruit juice for me. I'm not into that kind of fragrances. I think even when I was young, when I was a kid, I used to like perfumes like Dior perfumes. Maybe I have an old soul or something, I don't know. But these extremely fruity, realistic fruits especially, not happening. So I agree with you. Taskeen was just not okay, but happy for you that you like Kaid al-Fursan. Next we have Mary PB8047. She says Shagaf Oud. Out of my recent 35 blind buys, this is the only one I cannot stand. Oh no! I know you guys are waiting for me to get the elixir version of this one. I'll get it soon. It's on discount right now actually, but I'm broke so I cannot. But I have the Shagaf Oud, and this is one of my favorite perfumes. If I had to ever get keep one OG Oud rose fragrance, this one would be it. This is supposed to be a clone for Lancome's Oud Bouquet, and it's just a very smoky oud rose with saffron. It's like a very typical Middle Eastern fragrance, but I can see why people might not like this perfume. It's first of all, it's a beast mode fragrance. It's very cloying. You can only wear it to certain occasions. It's a very, very dress up perfume. Like I would literally have to be dressed up like this or full red or any of those jewel tone colors, like, you know, like the royal blue or the emerald green or something. And then I would be able to pull this off. It does feel much less potent than before. Like, I don't know why in my head, I remember it to smell very much like Moraf, but it's not smelling like Moraf. Right now it's smelling like, it's a very good perfume. I really, really like it. So I'm sorry that you had that experience, but do you think it has gone bad or something? Because it literally is a smoky oud rose, but if you do not like oud, you're definitely not gonna like this perfume. Next we have Shireen NHMN. Dirham worthy. Absolutely. Smells like cheap and synthetic rose fragrance that we used to get in the small supermarket in the 90s. That's exactly how I felt, sorry. And by the way, that was my exact reaction. I was like, these are one of those perfumes you get randomly in petrol stations or groceries, you know, where they're being sold for really cheap. They don't get sold, then they keep it in the discount section, you know, hoping people will buy it. I hated that perfume so much, although I know it's a very loved perfume. A lot of people are like goo goo gaga over that perfume. For me, it was also kind of smelling like Carolina Good Girl, the original, which I despise, and it was giving me kind of that perfume as well. So that's why I was absolutely not into it. Next, she said Latafa Khaltat Royal Blend. Oh. And the next one is Ansam Gold. Let me get those perfumes. Okay, so let's start with the Khaltat Royal Blends. Now this perfume, it is definitely extremely polarizing. Why? Because it's super powdery, very plummy. very boozy, and I know very few people will love it, and there are going to be people who are going to despise this perfume. It is very overwhelming, it's very sweet, but it feels like a dry perfume. But it's definitely very, very powdery, plummy fragrance. It's almost kind of like, you know, the bitter peach version of Tom Ford. Think of like a bitter plum version of that without the peach. This is going in that direction. But despite of that, I personally do like this perfume. There was a time I was obsessed with this perfume. That is, of course, when I just started my Middle Eastern perfume journey. It was a long time ago. But you know what? I've actually pulled this out after a long time. And I don't know why I did not wear this during winter. This is like a very selected, again, just like the Shagaf Oud. I would wear this in a very formal setting, probably for like formal dinners and stuff like that. This is not romantic. This is cold, brutal. Like, you know, if you want to smell a little bit intimidating or non-approachable, this is very much that kind of perfume. It also gets more and more powdery as it dries down. And that if you do not like very powdery scents, you might not like this one. Khaltat Royal Blend, I only get candied pineapple and not the fruit basket that everyone keeps talking about. And it is headache inducing for me. It can be very, very cloying, yeah? Now, the next one she says is Ansam Gold. I really try to like it, but it does not live up to the hype. Envious of everyone who gets fluffy marshmallow. I too envy them. Or, I don't know, some weird notes which I just don't get. All I get is mosquito coil-like vibe from it. I get cleaning products. Like I get, yeah, see, so I kept it because a lot of y'all were like, Simin, wait. Still gonna wait 3 more months, guys. Because after that, it's gonna be 1 year. And if it still doesn't change, it's not going to change for me. It's my opinion of it is not going to change. It smells very macerated and everything, but it literally feels like, you know, when people like freshly clean the furniture with that lemon spray, the polish, furniture polish, it gives me that smell. Murphy's soap, or somebody said Murphy's soap or something. It's like, it just gives me that vibe. I don't get fluffy marshmallows as well. I don't get anything gourmand about this. It smells very detergent, very soapy, like a cleaning product. And I do not like perfumes that smell like cleaning products or something that you would smell in a urinal cake or something, you know. Not for me. Like I might put off a lot of people because I know a lot of people love this perfume. We are on the 10th one now. And it is from Annie Walsh. I know her. She's one of the regular friends on YouTube. She says 100% agree with you on the Qaid al Fursan. Smells like fresh baby vomit to me. Oh my goodness, I am with you. It smells like bad milk. It's just like, but you've given me a picture in my mind now and I can absolutely relate to it. Then she said, Al Rihaf French coffee. Bro, I have it still and I'm so afraid, so I'm not even gonna spray it now. If you guys remember, I tried like a lot of combinations, like, you know, I tried to mix it with a lot of fragrances. It just made this perfume worse and worse and worse. It's just too realistic. I might donate it to a coffee shop, a local coffee shop or something, and tell them spray this to attract customers. She says, I cannot make that one work even with layering it. Exactly. Too realistic coffee scents, straight up smells like I have spilled a cup of coffee on myself. Why would anyone want to smell like that? I cannot get with Nasheed. Whoa, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spray this one because if I spray this for the next 7 days, my house is going to smell of this perfume. So if you have a coffee shop, you can use this in making like candles or soaps or something, I don't know. Then you said Nasheed. Okay, Nasheed, I can understand why you can't get along with it because maybe it's that frankincense eucalyptus thing that you can't get along with. It's a very stark contrast between the vanilla and that one, and that's why I feel maybe a lot of people might not like Nasheed. And Nasheed was again one of those viral perfumes that people were like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, it's the best vanilla. You can't call it the best vanilla. It's a very unique vanilla. And although it's one of my all-time favorite perfumes, I know it'll be polarizing because it does kind of smell like Vicks Vapor Up, you know, if you know the kind of mentholated feeling I'm talking about. It feels like eucalyptus combined with frankincense. And oh my gosh, for me, this is like a stunning scent. Like I just know that after filming, I'm gonna wear this perfume. It's just too beautiful for me. But I can understand that many people will not like this perfume. It'll be a polarizing scent, and it's not a safe blind buy either. Next we have Angelica Lagme 3643. She said oud moon and she made a sad face. No, don't be sad. You can like perfume. You cannot like perfumes that other people like. You know, like perfumes being this subjective. Especially oud mood again was supposed to be a due for Lancome's oud bouquet. So I still have my oud bouquet, but can you see I have not really used much of it because again this is a seasonal perfume or like an occasion perfume. I feel this is like a fresher version of Shagaf Oud. It feels cooler, colder, and like I literally forgot this perfume. So I need to like keep it somewhere I can use it because for me this is a very stunning perfume. It's a very light kind of oud. Like I had called it like the gateway into oud perfumes. But if you cannot get with oud, you will not be able to like this perfume. Maybe not for everybody, but it is again like a very cold saffron oud rose combination. In my opinion, it's quite stunning, but it will not be for everybody. So don't feel sad about it. On 12th, we have Kaminari, and she says Ajwat by Latafa. Thank you. So it was disgusting. No, she says next one is Rare Tiffany. Okay, but I know Rare Tiffany, many people do not like it. But if you know my story with Rare Tiffany, it was the perfume that led me to start loving Afnan perfumes. For me, this is a super unique fragrance. I can't even categorize it into something. I've actually stopped mentioning this one and Rare Passion because I used to put it in each and every compilation. And then I like actually forced myself not to do that because I know like people are like sick and tired of me mentioning certain fragrances, you know, and this is one of them. Rare Tiffany it smells very niche. It smells literally like a fruit in the category of dark grapes or plum, or not the plum, but it looks like a plum. You know, it goes into that category, that kind of fruits. Like I feel like this is a fruit that I want to eat, but it doesn't exist. But at the same time, it has this very up-class kind of scent in the background. I don't even know what that is. It just makes me feel like, when I wear this, I just feel like very expensive and posh. It just smells very, very expensive. Like I feel like if I have to go to a 5-star hotel or a gala dinner or something, I would wear this, you know. The next one she does not like is Qaid Al Fursan Unlimited. Thank you, because that is like, we are learning from other people as well. Then we have Oud Mood. Not surprised. Again, the person before you also said the same thing about Oud Mood. Musk Mood was one of my most hated perfumes, and for the same reason, because it gave me that milky thing. So I have a feeling, since you did not like Qaid Al Fursan Unlimited and Musk Mood, you probably have the same problem I have. There are certain musk fragrances that we can't tolerate, you know. It gives us that, this Musk Mood literally gave me skin like it was like gross, you know. So for me as well, Musk Mood was something I just cannot bear. Decluttered it a long time ago. I kept it for the longest time to sit with this one because I love the packaging, but then I was like, I can't like keep continuing with this one, so I gave it away. Next we have from Charm by Megan. She says Eternal Coffee. I think this is by Paris Corner. It was so cloyingly sweet to me. I love sweet gourmand too, but this one made my stomach turn. Smells like overly sweetened coffee creamer made with fake sweetener. Seriously disgusting. I think I feel the same thing with French coffee, except for this doesn't smell like a creamer. So I have not tried Eternal Coffee, but I never felt attracted to it. After my shock with this perfume, I was like, I'm not going to buy any of these cheap coffee perfumes. If I have to go for coffee fragrances, I'm going to go with Montal or Mancera or one of these, you know. I'm not going to go for these, or especially not blind by it, you know. So I've not tried Eternal Coffee, but I'm assuming I would feel the same way like you feel. Next we have Deep Ismadia 2080. She says Lel Maliki. It's wicked to use that perfume and stay where people... I have no idea what Lel Maliki is, but this is one of those traditional perfumes. I know which one you're talking about. I've seen, these were like the perfumes initially that were released in Middle Eastern markets, and people were using it like crazy. But when I say people, I mean people of like the previous generation. And it's a very, very traditional perfume. So definitely not something you should buy to get into Middle Eastern fragrances. That's going to be very, very polarizing. By the way, these kind of perfumes, even me, I can't tolerate. I might use like these perfumes once in a blue moon, just if I have to go to an Arabic wedding or one of those things, you know, then I would maybe even still think twice. On 15, we have Ami Abroad. She says I decluttered Ajwat. Too much in your face rose and that metallic note bugged me. However, I like Latafa's Pink to Pink Ajwat Flanker, which contains in your face guava. I don't like Paris Corner Tuskin. It's Juvenile fragrance. I use it as a freshener in my bathroom. I think in my review I said I won't even use it as a freshener in my bathroom. But yeah, Tuskin was a disaster. Pink to Pink Ajwat is resting, macerating, because for me that guava was a little bit too much. And because we have a dish which is like a fruit salad and there's a lot of guava, in your face kind of guava, and the smell is so reminiscent of that, the rose, guava, and like some other fruits, my brain immediately goes to that. And when my mom used to make it, I used to hate eating it. But she had kept a condition: if you don't finish that fruit bowl, you cannot move on to the other fried stuff. So we would all like forcefully like shove it and like just wanted to like get over with it. And that whole thing, so I have kept it because a lot of y'all have told me, let it sit, changes a lot, so I'm gonna let it sit. Next we have Lullaby Lee 6996. For me, unfortunately, majority of the oud based fragrances, which is perfectly fine. Oud is not for everybody. Oud is like, even I know some people who do not like ambergris or animalic scents, you know, like leather, sweet. Like they can completely not get with it, you know. Same way people who, oud is like an acquired taste, by the way. Some people never acquire it, but some people after some time they start liking it. So like I'm with you. When you say you do not like oud fragrances, you really need to find the modern ouds and not like traditional ouds like Shagaf oud or oud mood. These are very, very traditional fragrances. Maybe I'll try to make a video where it's all modern oud fragrances that you can get with. Then she says Latafa Opulent Breath. It's appeared again, and I'm sure it's because of the metallic note. Afnan 9 AM Perfume. There was a time I wanted to buy the entire 9 AM PM, that whole range, because I was like, let me review it for the girlies. But again, for some reason, my heart was like, don't buy it. And I did not, and I'm glad. Although right now they're priced at a very good price. Next we have Hansiniram Dhanya 8072. She says Fakha Rose. It gives me a terrible migraine. I can understand why it would do that, because it is a very, very strong floral and very, very cloying, and that might give people headaches. You're not the first one who's mentioned this, by the way. So Fakha Rose was like a love at first sniff for me. For me, it was like one of those perfumes that I knew I'm going to love forever and ever. And after I tried Tarwa Gold, for some reason I'm not reaching for this. And although when I'm smelling it now, I feel it's nice, but you know the florals in this, they're all mostly white florals and they're indolic. So a lot of people, when they smell indolic flowers, they get migraines. Surprisingly, I'm not getting a migraine. I'm very susceptible to migraines, but you probably are not okay with indolic scents, you know. So many people do not like this Fakha Rose. It's a very super floral fragrance and it's definitely not for everybody. Next we have Hunter Williams 7212. Qaid al Fursan makes me want to vomit and thought of smelling it. No amount of maceration could save it. I'm assuming he's talking about the Qaid al Fursan original because they've not mentioned unlimited. A lot of people felt that it smelled like the pineapple in it smelled like pee, and maybe that's why she won't, like, you know, they are feeling like vomiting. And I think it's a very sexy perfume on men, but I know it'll not be for everyone, especially because a lot of people associate the smell of pineapple with pee, you know. So also Latafa Ajwad smells like sweet metal nastiness. You stole the words out of my mouth. You might hate me for this, but to me it smells like grandma left a perfume that's been in her cabinet since 1960 and went bad, which is weird because I'm a big fan of all the listed notes, but I just don't like it. Don't worry, babe. Like, I don't expect everybody to like this perfume because there's a thin line between like perfumes when they become very, very ripe and they almost go bad. You know, this is at the border. So yes, while this is not for everybody, I really do think it's a stunning perfume, but I would never ever tell you go blind buy this perfume. It's very, very polarizing. So no, I don't hate you for it. Like, I would never ever do that to anybody. Next we have Marlena Q. Like, she's been with me as well on YouTube for a very long time. She's saying Amber is great, Zemaya clone of Arba Pura. Thank you for letting me know so that I go nowhere near this thing, you know, because anything Herba Pura, PR540, Delina, I don't want to smell it anymore. Like, we are in 2024 now. Can we let go of these perfumes? You know? So thank you for the heads up. I will be not getting that one. And yeah, Zemaya is something I've not treaded into, that territory of Zemaya, and for some reason, something is stopping me and I'm not doing it, you know. Julia Knight, Jules, I call her Jules. By the way, I have this nasty, irritating habit of giving people nicknames without their permission. There was somebody who actually told me off once. They were like, that's not my name. And I was like, whoops. But I do it like just because I love you, okay? I just like, so Jules, she said, hi, lovely, received my amethyst and I'm in love. Oh, I'm so happy every time anybody says they love amethyst. I'm like, Although I know, again, amethyst is like a super polarizing scent. Some people love it, others hate it. Now I want more rose. Would you suggest Infinity Rose or Junoon Rose? I would suggest neither, to be very honest with you. Thank you, dear, and all my best from Texas. Now, since you have like a proper amethyst fragrance, a proper noir rose fragrance, I would suggest like a lighter fragrance. Okay, Infinity Rose is loved by a lot of people. I did not personally like it that much. Junoon Rose is very synthetic. I did get to try it in the shop and I did not buy it, by the way. A lot of you all had already warned me about it. Thank you for that. So I was aware, you know, I had this awareness in my mind. I would recommend like getting the, where you live is like warm, Texas. Wait, you live in Texas, so I know it's warm over there. So, you know, the Silky Mora, the Silky Rose by Mora, Silky Rose by Latafa from their Mora collection. That one is amazing. It's a lychee pink rose scent and I absolutely find it stunning. So I think you should go for that one. Next we have Rachel Spear and she says kind of for unlimited. Sorry to everybody who does not like it and who loves it, because like for me it does smell like spoiled milk. This is the exact feeling I got from it. But then we saw like other people who felt like it smells like baby puke or, you know, so I'm with you on this one. Ragba, just not for me. Had to scrub it off. You know, Ragba is something, again, I feel like people either perceive it as saliva scent, or some people like me who feel like it smells like chai, which is the Indian tea, with some oud. It took me so long to find Ragba. Found it. But this one, yes, I agree, because a lot of people, this is one of those fragrances that people can perceive very differently. Because for me, this doesn't smell like saliva at all. She's not mentioned that she feels like it smells like saliva, but like I know a lot of people do get that thing. So don't beat yourself about it. But if you have not decluttered it, try mixing it with other perfume, because this Ragba, it works miracles as a layering perfume. Barakat Satin Oud. Yeah, I would never buy that because although it's a dupe for Oud Satin Mood by Francis Kurkdjian, I know this one, many people have said that it just smells too mature, too vintage, dated, you know, and I would not go for that. Again, and I know it's heavy on rose. So for me, I am super careful with rose perfume. So thank you for letting us know. I will not buy that one ever. Next we have Catherine Nee, 1111. Qaida Fursan Unlimited, Baroque Satin Mood, Alhambra, Sakina Latafa, not as bad, but not good too. Okay, so Sakina, again, I feel it's like a very, very divided thing, right? Like Sakina for me, sometimes I love wearing it and sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it. This year, I did not even reach for it. Since 2024 started, I've not reached for it. But summer is starting and I have a feeling I'm going to get that thing of like, use Sakina. Sakina will call me, you know. But I'm with you with Qaid Al Fursan. Baroque Satin Mood, Alhambra, somebody before you just mentioned this. So you're not alone. Every time I pull out a perfume from there, I feel like I'm going to drop the perfume. So Sakina is here. It's a super, super fruity fragrance. Smells like a drink. It smells like a fruit drink. But I know what people don't like. It has this, again, this is literally going to a super overripe fruits, like a bunch of fruits that are like super overripe. It almost smells like, you know, when an orange, which is very rare. But when orange starts going bad, you know, when it's like partially like being limp and weird, you know, it has that little, that's the irky part in this, you know. But it's not like right from the get-go, I smell that. But like if I really need to dig deep into it, so that's why when I smell it like this, it's different. But when you smell Sakina in the air like whiffs, it's very beautiful. In summer, I will be reaching for that. But like, good thing that you reminded me because I'd forgotten about it. This is going to be the last one for this part 1 because I'm going to do a part 2 of this one. I don't want to make it too long. This is by Michelle Elikim 4405. I hope I'm not butchering it. I really don't like any of the Good Girl clones. I love you. I recently got Guava from Al Harama, and I know that's due for Good Girl. I had to return it because to me it was too strong and cloying. The almond and tuberose had a plastic feeling and I could not stand it. It's the same with me. Anything that smells like Good Girl, the original, the blue thingy, I just can't stand it. As a matter of fact, I think even the flankers, I'm not very fond of it, you know. I do want to try the recent one, the pinkish one, and see how that smells like. But it has something in it, and I think it is the almond that bothers us, you know, because generally I love almond fragrances, but this is the kind of almond where it goes towards very synthetic and it's screechy. I just feel this perfume is screechy and not for me. People say it's very good for going out for clubbing and this and that. Nah, like that perfume cannot come anywhere near me. I've decluttered so many perfumes just because they smell similar to Good Girl, and that's exactly why I did not buy Rava. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that process, but I'm glad you could return it at least. In UAE, we can't return perfumes easily, by the way. Unless it's defective or fake or something, then you can raise a complaint and they change it for you. So that's it for part 1 of this most hated perfumes on the internet. I'm gonna try and do like a count at the end of the video of part 2 where I'll show you who won from the highest to lowest voted ones, yeah? And I will present it to you at the end of part 2. I'll see you probably the very next day in part 2 of this video. See ya, bye!